I'm now about to begin row 3 of square 2 treats, and I'm going to show you how to work rows 3 and 4. In row 3, a second yarn is introduced into the work, dolly, so you're working with cuddle and with dolly on row 3. I'm going to begin by joining in dolly as I knit the first stitch using cuddle yarn. It will just mean that the dolly yarn is secured into the work for when I need it on stitch number 2. So I'm going to do this by laying the new yarn across the right hand needle in the way of cuddle yarn, so that as I knit that first stitch using cuddle yarn, it just secures the dolly yarn in place, ready to use on the next stitch. Or just make sure as well that you've changed to your 3.75mm needles for row 3. Okay, so I'm going to create a system here where I'm going to hold and use the cuddle yarn on top, and the dolly yarn I'm going to pick up from underneath. And if I keep that system going, you will see at the end of the row that the yarns are untangled. It's similar to what you would do in Fair Isle. So using dolly yarn, I'm going to knit 1, yarn forward and knit 1 into next stitch, which means I make 3 stitches out of 1. And then I'm going to drop dolly down and I'm going to pick up cuddle and I'm going to knit 1. And I'm going to repeat that all the way along the row. So it's knit 1 using dolly yarn, yarn forward, knit 1. So that's happening all into the same stitch. Knit 1, yarn forward, knit 1 into next stitch, whoops, cuddle on top, knit 1 using cuddle, and you repeat this all the way along the row to the end. And at the end of row 3, your work should look like this. I'm now ready to start row 4. Cuddle is not needed on this row, you're just using dolly, but don't cut cuddle off because you need it on row 5. So we begin by knitting 1 using dolly yarn. And then the instruction is to knit 3 through the back of the loop. So you do that by taking your needle through the back of those 3 dolly stitches. It's quite tough to get the needle through, but you will manage it after a little bit of extra effort may be required to do that. So the needle's through, bring that new loop through and release those 3 stitches off the needle, and then keeping the yarn, the dolly yarn, where it is, slip the next stitch purlwise, and we're repeating that all the way along the row. Now if those stitches are a bit tight, just loosen them up a little bit and then get your needle through them. You might only just be able to get the tip of the needle through, but as long as it's enough. So I'm going to loosen the next 3 off. and you continue to work the whole row in this way. It's not easy, but you will get there. Just make sure you've gone properly through those 3 stitches before you release them off the needle. They're a tight little bunch, but as I said, you will manage it just slowly and carefully. Let's just stop there. You can see what it looks like on the back. A series of loops. The loops are where I think they're across where you slip the stitches. Then as we look on the right side of the work, you can see those clusters of groups of 3 dolly stitches creating the textured pattern.